Online and Technology-Mediated Self-Regulated Learning by Peter Gallant, Education 6610. This slidecast will begin with 2 definitions of self-regulated learning. 7 themes developed from the 15 sources used will then be presented. A summary of the main concepts will be discussed, followed by a conclusions and implications section. This analysis begins with 2 definitions of self-regulated learning. The first refers to a set of behaviors that can be used to guide, monitor, and evaluate one's learning. The second defines self-regulated learning as behaviors that are active and volitional, with the intention of achieving in one's learning. 7 main themes emerged from the 15 sources used. These themes include self-regulated learning, fostered through the use of various types of dedicated software, developed through the use of multiple online formats, sorted and arranged into profiles and categories, examined relationships between a wide range of strategies and their results with respect to achievement, demonstrating the effect various strategies and practices have on learning, investigating the required scaffolding and community building, and self-regulated learning's effect on student learning involvement. Self-regulated learning was examined through the use of various types of software that resulted in the software elucidating different attributes and characteristics of self-regulated learning. The 3 programs referred to here ultimately served different purposes within their respective studies. ePearl emphasized the development of digital containers in the form of electronic portfolios, which were found to increase the self-regulated learning abilities of students while providing a template for the creation and displaying of content. In a different way, G-Study provided a tool set for students, enabling them to develop useful self-regulated learning skills and strategies. A byproduct of G-Study's use was the detection of necessary changes in course format to better exploit online tools and other forms of technology for self-regulated learning purposes. Vocational school software impacted students positively and, like G-Study, revealed deficiencies in teacher-related skills and preparedness. The vocational software and G-Study were pivotal agents in their respective studies in that their use, though not originally intended, brought about implications for changes in how courses were designed and teachers trained. The sources found that self-regulated learning was enhanced through Web 2.0 formats such as technology-enabled learning environments, electronic portfolios, information and communication technologies, and content accessibility subsystems. Furthermore, it was found that originality, creativity, and a strong propensity to learn was developed through these various online formats. Self-regulated learning through information communication technologies were found to lead to increased innovation and proficiency on the student's part. Content accessibility subsystems led to enhanced self-regulated learning skills through the use of wireless technologies, which ultimately led to the acquisition of desirable self-regulated learning attributes in students. Electronic portfolios proved to be valuable tools in growing learner independence, as well as developing and presenting learned concepts and content. Tellies were found to require a greater student propensity to learn in order to contribute to the development of self-regulated learning. Another theme centers around the classification of learners in relation to the self-regulated learning attributes demonstrated. This hierarchy shows the range of independent learning profiles from the most self-regulated, referred to as super self-regulators, through to the lowest producing group, referred to as non-minimal self-regulators. Additionally, self-regulated learning attributes themselves were examined through the lenses of relevance, parsimony, and utility, and subsequently divided into 5 categories, namely metacognitive, strategic, adaptive, engaged, and self-initiating. Self-regulated learning and distance education literature were examined through 5 attributes which were likely to be predictors of academic performance. These attributes ranged from time and study environment management, online self-efficacy, as well as the student's willingness to seek help and set personal goals. Connections were made between self-regulated learning strategies and student results and achievement. A positive correlation was found between self-regulated learning strategies and student satisfaction and success from grade level to grade level, as well as between self-regulated learning strategies and epistemological beliefs. As indicated by research, in order to successfully draw profound conclusions regarding first-year learners' skill development, participants would have to be studied within their learning environment for more than 1 semester. Self-regulated learning grounded strategies were found to have an impact on student learning. These strategies demonstrated improvement in students' SRL skills, mostly due to focused independence, computational abilities, goal assessment, but not so much in related abilities, and in planning their own academic future. As well, self-regulated learning grounded strategies fostered a growth in teacher confidence that subsequently led to further exploration into self-regulated learning techniques. Strategies found to be effective with a positive impact on self-regulated learning include Web 2.0 and wireless technologies such as vodcasts, PDAs, RSS feeds, and Flickr. These technologies were observed in students' personal learning environments. In order to enhance and advance self-regulated learning behaviors and experience, necessary scaffolding and critical community building were required. Teachers had to create lessons where students could work independently and in groups, have increased participation in learning and more access to personal tools, be a part of a stimulated and sustaining social atmosphere, be encouraged to exploit various social media, and have control over content. These were necessary in order for students to derive the full benefit of online self-regulated learning. Sources showed a slight improvement in student learning involvement when self-regulated learning techniques were applied through CASs, including PDAs and cell phones. However, there was a greater need to exploit online technologies in order to maximize learning. In addition, no significant difference was found in student learning involvement when comparing self-regulated learning groups to non-self-regulated learning groups. Online and technology-mediated self-regulated learning was found to be in the developing stages. Trends emerging from the sources include the use of software tools to diagnose issues related to course changes and teacher professional development, self-regulated learning benefiting from the repurposing of tools already used or accessible by students, classification of learners and attributes that describe various dimensions and degrees of self-regulated learning activity, the examination and development of strategies that promote effective learning and the connection or correlation self-regulated learning activities have with other areas of learning. In conclusion, it was recommended that further investigation into self-regulated learning activities be performed with the consideration of comparing self-regulated learning experimental and control groups. As well, comparing a number and variety of self-regulated learning fostering software programs would increase the likelihood of necessary exploitation of suitable technology. It was suggested that instructors further investigate student propensity to learn by asking more appropriate questions with regard to self-regulated learning activities. Careful planning and consideration when designing course structure was recommended, as was further research to replicate source findings.